So I'm sitting here with Ali, and Ali's doing lots of big things. And Ali, you want to connect with people at not just a service level on LinkedIn. Talk me through what your goal is there, and then we're going to show people how you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my goal, I jumped on LinkedIn about, I'd say a year and a half or two, or about 2 years ago. My goal then was to just post as much content, whether that's educational tips and tricks or just my opinions in the NDIS space, which is cool. It's got me a lot of traction. It's got me a lot of organic followers. But my goal now is to take it one level up and take those connections to ultimately an in-person or a connection call so we can deepen and strengthen these relationships. Because at the end of the day, we can type each other. We can say, hey, this is what I do. Would love to have a chat. But one, people don't have time to text all the time. And two, a connection call is like tapping more into the human side of things and just really deepening the connection. And yeah, ultimately, that's my goal currently.
So I guess you're saying you want to go from the fake surface LinkedIn relationships to actually
Yep.
people who are in the real world with relationships. Here's the thing, when you do that, somehow you need to give them something. So if you turn up wanting to contribute, you'll have 100 people who want to hang out with you. If you turn up wanting to meet up, there's not the value there for others. So there'll be some way that you can contribute to others. Another way for you to stand out apart from those meetings is you go grab your LinkedIn and you just give people a voicemail. No one else does this. Like, they just don't send voicemails. So I'm going to click on message. It comes up with whatever we've been chatting about. And then see that button just there, the microphone button. Okay. So I'm just going to hit the microphone button and I'm just going to leave you a voicemail. It sounds like this. Hey, Ali, I can see you're doing lots of really cool things. I think the world needs a few more of you. I liked your post where, you're talking about how it hasn't been an easy journey. Just wanted to say hi and just encourage you to keep up the good work. Thanks. Hey, bye.
I think I like that because it breaks the norm of just, hey, this is what I do. Would love to find more about you. I think for me, I always enter the chat with a level of curiosity, always, or even if it's something that I saw, whether it's on a podcast that you were on, also a post that you did, something that really resonated with me. What I usually do is I'll introduce myself, I'll open with curiosity, and then I would mention something that really resonated with me, like truly. And I think with that audio message, it's a completely different ball game because you're taking it from a text to audio, which can be very powerful because we can read these phones and we can see them as like robotic words, and it's not really connecting with us. So breaking that cycle can be very powerful, I find.
Yeah. But also, like, you can take it to a whole nother level if you want. Somehow you need to help people. So you can go from being just another name on someone's LinkedIn to genuinely an ally if you just find some way to help people. So think of the resources that you've got from me, even by accident, because I just post them up, of those podcasts or whatever. Some of them are really helpful for you. Some of them not relevant.
Yeah.
But we would learn to care about each other if we can somehow help each other. So the question for you is, how do you as an independent support worker be helpful to others? What can you do for them beyond just leave a voicemail?
I think this is something I thought of as well in the past, and I am working on. It's funny you mentioned that. I'm working on like a mini self-help little ebook in a way. And this is like all the things that I've learned as a support worker. Some of them would be content like nervous system regulation, which I'm a huge advocate for. I think nervous system regulation is so important. So it's going to be like a mini guide, like a mini practical tips and tricks. I do want it to be providing value in a way that they could read it and they can retain something from it. And then a quick little, hey, if you ever want to jump on the connection call, he's the invitation essentially. So I think that's the route I want to go moving forward. And I do want to introduce myself with a level of curiosity, whether that's on an audio message or other ways, and then also give them that resource that they can actually see and provide value to them.
All right, let's take that to the next level. Okay.
Yeah.
You feeling brave today?
So like it.
Yeah, that's what we did. Are you feeling brave?
Yes.
All right. You're feeling courageous. As courageous as Indiana Jones or Luke Skywalker. All right. Your mission here is to give them something that is so valuable they can't go past it. Independent support workers. Okay. So let's say if your target is directors, you want to get to know directors because somehow you want to connect with them. Go to the pain. What do directors hate about dealing with independent support workers, or actually just support workers in general, is they don't freaking turn up to their shifts and they embarrass the snot out of us as leaders when we told someone that there was going to be someone there. And they let us down. Suddenly, let's pretend I'm a director of support workers, suddenly I'm leaving my kids at home in front of the TV so I can go down and cover for someone because they're going to be 2 hours late, but they were disorganized.
Yep.
Do you see the pain that is? So what if you were to give them a document that is 5 ways to choose support workers who'll actually turn up? Or what about five reasons why your support worker may be flaky as hell and driving you stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also going to be very powerful because it's coming from the perspective of a support worker. I'm not just going to be the other support workers that don't rock up to their shift. I'm going to be the one that say, hey, this is a certain pain point of yours. I'm a support worker. I've gone through it. I know what it's like. Here's some valuable information. And it might give them an insight that they'd never thought of because it shares different perspectives when you're a frontline worker as well.
That's right. But your mission here is to show them you understand their world.
Yeah.
Because if you can articulate, if you can speak out the pain that someone else is experiencing and if you can explain it in a way as if it came out of their mouth, will trust you and you'll have massive rapport. And to be honest, support workers need to own their crap. I don't understand how hard it is to turn up to a shift. I did not turn up to this meeting. You know what I mean? And obviously you're not that type of support worker, but you can empathize with your audience by putting their pain into words, but also there would be reasons support workers don't turn up sometimes that are the director's fault. Crap communication, last minute communication, poor systems, or things that don't have an automation for reminding people.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of support workers don't feel like valued or appreciated in the industry. And I feel like they carry a lot of weight on their back, and which is a part of me that can empathize with them. But also, if service providers play their role, support workers also need to play their role. If we can combine and collaborate together, we can make some powerful things. But those pain points can either be from support workers or from service providers as well. It just depends on what the situation is as well.
Yeah. And the other thing is, so much of his attitude, there's such an entitled attitude among our younger support workers. It's like, hold on, if you're working for someone else, you're being paid nearly $50 an hour. If you're working for yourself, you're being paid $70 an hour.
Yeah.
Get off your phone, care about someone, and stop making life about you because your friends who aren't support workers are earning only 2/3 what you're earning. So if you can take those sort of words and go, here's how directors feel, and here's the solutions, what is every director who needs support workers down the track or needs some sort of help down the track going to think about you?
They'll think that this guy knows his stuff and there is a few things I can learn from him. Let me give him the time of day on a quick connection call, I feel like.
That's right. And you want to also connect with people who you could help, but who can help you. There's 1,000 people out there that you or I could help, but not all of them can help us.
Yeah.
Because everything has to be win-win.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just making more strangers in your life or more acquaintances. We don't need that, okay? We've all got in-laws. We've all got friends from high school. We've all got people who would want to hang out with us, but who are the people who are going to really help us in the long term? So who is your audience? Who are the people who, if they connect with you, they're going to end up employing your services?
I think for me, my audience right now or my niche is support work. I've recently also noticed that there aren't many support workers on LinkedIn. I've noticed that they're scattered on different platforms, which I've experimented with TikTok now. And I've noticed there is so much more engagement in TikTok with support workers in the niche. I just jumped on TikTok. I started making videos on like practical tips and tricks, things that I've learned, mistakes that I've learned as well, and common misconceptions about support work and how you can do better. Ultimately, I want to plant that seed and I want to shift the narrative for support workers. We've already got such a bad view. And I'm not saying that came out of nowhere. There are support workers on their phone. We all know that. There are support workers that show up and only get paid. But my target audience would be the support workers that A, don't have guidance from the service providers, or B, genuinely want to do better. Because I know that there are support workers out there that have that in them. And I want to be the role model and the person that can actually make that influence in their life. So that would be my niche.
Okay, so you've nailed your niche.
Yeah.
You've got your platform, TikTok. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want directors, you're on LinkedIn. If you want support workers, you're saying TikTok's working. Great. So what you want to do then, if you want to be leading people like that, is you need to cause them to feel like champions just for engaging with you.
Yeah.
So you're like, in all your videos and stuff, you're like, hey, you are a leader or you're a future leader or you're someone who's going to have impact. Here are the things that you could be doing. Because you don't want people going through your stuff going, oh, I feel like a failure, so I'll go and look at Ali's stuff. You want people to be aspiring, oh, I'm going to make it, therefore I'll look at Ali's stuff. Does that make sense? And somehow you need all your communication to be around the language of champions. If you're in the top 5%, this video is for you. Why do you think I'd recommend that your mission is to cause people to feel like champions when they're engaging with your work?
Because I feel like that would be my calling, my influence that I have on the platforms. And yeah, I feel like that would be amazing.
Okay, you can do that, because what you're going to do if you talk in that language, you are going to attract the top 5-10%.
But the thing is, for me, I'm seeing a lot of fluffed up versions of support work online. A lot of people they're like, oh, we went bowling, we did this awesome community access. I want to show the reality of support work. The reality is you're going to be dealing with meltdown. The reality is you're going to rock up and there's going to be days where you're burnt out. Saying that, I want to address the reality of support work, but also give them practical tips and tricks to save them. Because as well, support work has such a high staff turnover in the industry, whether that's providers not giving them training, whether that's burnout. There are multiple different reasons, but turnout for support work is too high. And I want to lower that in the industry. Start with the baseline. Yeah.
And it's a hard job. The other thing is, it's a boring job half the time. There's nothing glamorous about sitting around waiting for someone to get out of school. There's nothing glamorous about sitting around waiting for someone to decompress a bit and slow down the meltdown and be able to re-engage. And you know it's going to take them an hour.
Yeah.
So here we are just killing time while they play Minecraft, because that's what that person needs to decompress.
Yeah.
So there's nothing glamorous about that. A lot of what support workers are doing is whinging and whining about how underpaid they are, how hard it is, all that stuff. It's like they're looking for affirmation from others. If you can equip the leaders, like the true leaders among your support workers, the people who in 10 years' time are going to be running companies, if you can equip them with their mission is to serve, serving is not glamorous, but you've got it in you, then man, that audience will love you because they know it's not glamorous. Again, you're articulating what they're experiencing.
And I've noticed the more raw and unfiltered content I put out there for support work, the more engagement it is. Because when I first started my journey, I wanted to show all the positives of support work. And then I've this was like a year or two ago when I first got into content creation. I thought, I want to show more raw. I love the fact that support work can have this beautiful side of it, like doing awesome community access, but I want to show them that this is authentically what support work can be. And we see too much fluffed up versions. So I think people on the platform can appreciate the reality of support work because they've experienced it themselves. Yeah.
I love this. So really what we're looking at, Ali, is your mission, your goal right now is to connect with as many people as possible who you can create win-wins for. Okay. So you're going to get to your support workers through TikTok to create that community, which is helpful. And someone like Sarah Harriet, she's done that before. You just need to ask her how she did it and you can do it too. And then the second thing is you're also a director. So you need to be connecting with other directors and you go to LinkedIn and you find ways to help them and you watch what happens. And there are people who come to me, ask, Michael, can you do some business coaching here or consulting there or whatever, marketing there, who I've never even met. But a year ago, I sent them a message and then I just sent them in that last year, maybe 2 or 3 posts that are relevant to what I know their part of the industry is facing. And then they come to you and you're like, how did this happen? So if you plant the seeds now, in a year, you'll harvest those seeds.
Yeah. And I've seen the capacity of the capability of what can happen. I've had coordinators reach out to me. I've had OTs reach out to me, not only just for referrals, for really giving me the confidence to say, hey, I love your content. You really resonated with me. And it's good. It's refreshing to see that it's not only hitting support workers, it's also reaching a broad scope of the NDIS realm, whether that's coordination, OTs, allied health, everything in between. I'm glad that it's not it's resonating with a wider audience, but that is my niche, specifically support work.
I love it. And so if you're going to put all this time and energy in, you need to be well paid for it. Otherwise, you won't be doing this in 5 years. Right? So let's imagine, and by the way, everyone who's watching this podcast, it's like you can ask yourself this question as well. Let's say, Ali, you wanted to triple your revenue, triple your profitability within 18 months. Okay. How would you go about doing that? For a start, the people who can lead you to massively grow your revenue, massively grow your profitability are not the support workers. Referrals don't come through them.
Yeah.
So what would your plan be? Who would you connect with? How would you help them? And what would be the end result of you helping them? What are they going to do for you? Because everything should be win-win.
Okay, so currently my position right now is the independent support work side of things, which is keeping me my baseline. Obviously, it gives me a bit of purpose to show up and do what I do and make some money in the process, like everyone else in the industry. And so that's it doing its own direction. And then once the what's it called, the community building side of things start to kick in, I would need more service providers, more people who have their own set support workers. Yes, I can reach out to independent support workers, but independents are like scattered everywhere. The service providers would be the ideal target market because they've got their own community network of support work. They've got their own workers. And like you said earlier, hitting those pain points, giving a solution, educating them in the process would give them a bit of value. Once they see that value, that's when I can sell them the service or whatever else is implemented.
Okay. So if we look at that,
Yeah.
remember, I'm on your side. Okay. I'm throwing ideas out, but I'm for you. Okay. More than I have words for. When you do those services, you're going to only be able to charge, say, $75 an hour or whatever, right? Whatever the price cap is for that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you earn $300 an hour. There's a way you could earn $300 an hour. What's one way you could earn $300 an hour?
One way with the work that I do currently would be to sell these, essentially. Sell this as a bundle, as a course, as a community, as on a platform that can get a wider reach. There's only so much you can make as an independent support worker. You're capped at a certain amount of clients before you use your mind and you're burnt out. I think if you want to hit the extra level of the 300 mark, like we spoke about, it would be expanding the reach towards the more content creation / education / community side of things and selling that.
Okay, cool. That's one way. That could work. You're putting your destiny in the hands of the platforms. You have a look at what's happened to LinkedIn reach in the last 6 months. Okay, you have a look at the end of the day, as soon as you put your destiny in someone else's hands, we've got a problem. That is one way. And I guess you're talking about a subscription model. That could work. Could I throw another crazy idea at you?
Absolutely. I'd love to hear.
What if you became the go-to consultant for support worker, directors of support workers? Okay. Say companies that have got 20, 30, 50, 100 support workers. You be the consultant for how to deal with their underperformers and how to recruit correctly and how to have the best possible staff they could have. But basically, if you want to charge big bucks, you have to solve big problems. So these directors are sending a support worker out to someone, they never arrive, they lose that client just because they've got a process problem. And they've also got a culture problem that they pick the wrong people. Right? What if you were the consultant that goes and fixes that?
I think that'd be great because I've had the experience of working for multiple providers before I went independent. I worked in SIL homes before as well for quite some time. I've seen firsthand what it means to have that pain point. And a lot of the time service providers don't really realize they have that because they need that second opinion. Service providers can say, hey, I provide great service. My staff are okay. Why are support workers leaving? It's always good to get a second opinion for someone that's actually been in the industry, that's worked in all these homes before, to give them a different perspective on things. So I think consulting is also on the cards for sure.
Okay. It's on the cards ASAP. Take yourself a 2-month time frame.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's not that they need a second opinion. It's that they need to know what the hell's going on and how to fix it.
Yeah.
Because if they could fix it themselves, they would.
Yeah.
But if they lost,
Like,
sorry, what's that?
I feel like also it costs service providers more to train and develop and hire new staff as opposed to retaining long-term staff and
That's right.
what they want to do ultimately.
And the mess of shadow shifts and all this onboarding crap that you have to go through when someone starts, you can make that problem disappear. That's worth more than $300 an hour.
Yeah.
But we have to get away from this price capped mess of how we view how much we can charge for it. But the thing is, you don't get to just demand more money. You need to go and solve a bigger problem. And it's if you solve someone's problem that's this big, you can charge whatever. If you solve a problem that's huge, you can charge whatever times a million. You know what I mean? But we have to be of massive service to people like that. So I guess if I was in your shoes, I'd be looking at how quickly can I go from where I am to where I want to be as that consultant, and basically offering packages as in like support worker organization, rescue your culture packages, a bit like Amy Gray does.
Yeah.
Okay. But Amy Gray's more like at the leadership level. You'd be more at the level of, I will meet with your problem 5 staff and I'll work out what the core issue is, and we'll either fix it or I'll let you know that person can't be solved. And then you'll have to act accordingly and go, legal boss, whatever. But it's like, how to go from where you are to there. Let's say that's a 2-month time frame. What would happen if you connect with 100 directors of decent sized support worker organizations, connect with them ASAP, and then you send them something useful in, say, 3 weeks, and you send them a voicemail at, say, 2 weeks later that just lets them know, do you have any things that you can help with? Yeah. You give each of them a free strategy session. They sit down with you for 20 minutes and you just answer every question you can, be as helpful as you can. How do you think I get my clients? I sit down with them and for nothing, I just solve a few problems. They're like, crap, I need Michael. Oh, wait, all right, here's the cost. Let's go. And we're good. That's a bit of an oversimplification, but you do that. And then you get your first, say, 3 clients on board at a rate that is good for them. And it's not your $300 now. Yeah. Out of them, you get your testimonials. But also, if you've solved their problems well, you've then got the experience to go forward and help others. And then I'm like, why should that even take 2 months? You already have the knowledge. The only thing you don't have yet is you don't have the seed planted in 100 directors' minds that you can make their support worker problem go away. Yeah. Remember, and for you, you need to understand you're not solving a $200 problem. If they just lost a participant, there goes, I don't know, $1,000 of profit in the next month or 2 months, depending on how many hours they got. You're solving a big problem. Yeah. Okay. So what's going through your head when I'm saying you can do this and you can do it straight away? What are your thoughts?
I think my thoughts currently is, I know I've got the experience for it, which is incredible. I know that I'm in the time of being a support worker, which has been 3.5 years. I've seen a lot, I've experienced a lot, and I've seen the pain points of both a service provider and the support worker. So if there's a way I can give them both the answers and help both sides of the spectrum, as opposed to demonizing one, because I feel like a lot of support workers feel demonized right now. They feel like I'm not going to say a small, there are support workers out there, they go on their phone and do what they do. But I know that there are support workers as well out there that want to do better. And I know that there are service providers as well that want to do better as well. So if I can somehow give them both solutions and make an impact in both of these stands, I think that would be ultimately the most rewarding feeling for me.
Will you remember the plan? But your target audience must be directors because they can pay the big bucks.
Mm-hmm.
The support workers can't, and why should they? It's not their job to upskill. Right? Yeah. And to be honest, 20% of support workers deserve to be demonized. They deserve to be spoken of badly because they're terrible at what they do. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other 80%, maybe 40% of them are good, and then 40% of them are angels. Okay, they're amazing. Yeah. But your market is not them. Mm-hmm. Your market is your directors because they can pay you the big bucks. But in order to have the credibility to speak to the directors, you need to build the community among your support workers. Yeah. And then suddenly you're serving support workers, you're serving directors, you're getting well paid by directors, and you're still achieving your life purpose or what you would view as your own mission by helping the support workers. Yeah. All right. When are you going to start?
When am I going to start? I think I'm going to start planning as soon as possible and really action this, because I know when I first started my TikTok, I started 0 followers, from the very, very ground up. I was inconsistent for quite some time, but now currently it's at almost 2,500 followers. But mind you, I didn't post a lot for last year.
That's okay. But even those followers, they're still the support workers.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you're missing right now is the relationship with the directors.
Yeah, absolutely. In saying that, I was more so if I can achieve that 0 to 2,500 in a matter of a year with no inconsistency, imagine what I can do if I really nailed down on the service provider side of things.
Your mission on this weekend is to go out to a cafe with a pen and piece of paper, work out what your next steps are, and they'll make it happen Monday. Whatever's on your calendar for Monday, get rid of it. Okay? Be the flaky support worker who cancels. I don't care. But
this is really honest.
That's right. This is your mission. Okay? You're a man with a plan. All right. This has been the weirdest podcast ever because all we've done is look at how one guy can massively transform his business model. And I believe you'll do it, Ali. I believe you'll do it. If someone wants to get in touch with you, Ali, how do they find you?
You'd find me Ali Chahine on LinkedIn. That would be the best platform to find me.
Love your work. Or send me a message and I'll put you in touch with him. All right. Good luck on your quest.
Thank you, mate.